My name is Mark from Integral Movement, and this is a follow-along full body stretch class. This utilises active flexibility techniques to put a lasting and usable range of movement into your body and develop awareness and control of your body. Today we're just going to target a lot of those areas that are commonly tight on most people. So let's get started. So we're just going to start with a gentle warm-up for around the hips. Come on over onto all fours, just place the shoulders underneath, your hands underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath the hips, and take your right leg slowly and with control, place it to the outside of your hands. Walk the left knee and toe backwards, letting the hips sink down towards the floor. I'm keeping my right knee above the right heel, just letting the hips sink down to gently open up through the left hip, the left front of hip area. Could be that the floor is a long way away, so just grab yourself a bolster, something you can rest your hands on to allow you to get into this range. It's still just a warm-up, so we're not pushing anything into a deep stretch, letting those hips sink down towards the floor, then keeping the right foot down, start to straighten your right leg, moving your hips backwards to stretch through the hamstring on the right hand side. Slowly bring that forward, let the hips sink down towards the floor, stretching through the left hip flexor, front of hip area, pushing through the right foot. Slowly move your hips back. Now you may not be able to straighten your leg, that's fine. We just want a gentle moving stretch to start to warm up and prepare the hips for the work that we are about to do. We're just slowly moving backwards and forwards, just moving into a comfortable stretch each time. Again, not pushing anything too deep at this stage. Just really exploring the body, starting to develop a little bit of awareness of how we feel today. From there, bring that right foot back around and we'll swap it over to the other side. Left foot onto the floor, outside the hands, walk the right knee and toe backwards, keeping the left knee above the left heel. Let the hips sink down towards the floor, just opening up through the right front of hip flexor area. And keeping the left foot down, start to straighten that leg out, gently stretching through the left hamstring. Let the hips come forward, opening up through the right hip flexor area, and then slowly moving the hips back, straightening that left leg. Again, you may not be able to fully straighten that leg. Slowly coming forward, drop the hips down, and then moving the hips back, straightening and stretching through the left hamstring. Again, this is really just preparation stage right now. We're exploring how our body feels, moving through these ranges, not pushing into our deep stretch just yet. One more time, taking the hips back. And hips coming forward. Slowly, with control, bring that foot back around, have a little wriggle around in place. We'll just do a little bit of spinal movement as well from this position. So again, on all fours, knees are underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders. Tuck the tail in, roll the spine up towards the ceiling, let the head hang down as you push the shoulders down towards the floor. Untuck the tail, belly sags down, shoulder blades come back and down to lift the chin up. Tuck that tail, roll the spine up towards the ceiling, head hangs down, shoulder blades pushing down towards the floor. Untuck the tail, pull the shoulder blades back and down as the chin looks up. Tuck your tail, roll the spine up towards the ceiling, push the shoulders down, let the head hang low. Untuck the tail, belly sags as the shoulder blades come back and down, chin looks up. Tuck that tail, roll the spine up towards the ceiling, shoulders push down, the head hangs. Last time down, untuck that tail, let the belly sag, pull the shoulder blades back and down, lift the chin up, and then just any kind of wriggle around, whatever your body feels like doing. We will move on to stretching out our hip flexors. So for the hip flexor stretch, we'll just come back onto all fours. Again, knees are underneath hips, hands are underneath shoulders. Bring your right foot slowly and with control to the outside of your hands. Walk the left knee and toe backwards, letting the hips sink down towards the floor. Aiming on keeping this right knee close to above the right heel. We want to feel this stretch down through our left hip flexor, the front of hip on the left hand side. If you're just getting a strong sensation coming through your right hamstring, just move your right foot back a little further in this position. Putting a bigger bend in the knee, taking that out of the hamstring. So if you need to do that, then just reposition that front foot back. Let your hips sink down nice and low in this position. Gently pull your left hip forward. Use your hands and your front foot to pull the chest forward as well, increasing the stretch through the left hip flexor. Have a few breaths in this position. Now we're going to engage the glutes on the left-hand side. So the muscles of the buttocks on the left-hand side, engage those muscles to help try and pull yourself deeper into this stretch. As you engage those muscles, it drives the hips down and forward, increasing the stretch through the hip flexors. Now, if this is something that's quite new to you, you may not be able to actually activate those muscles in this position. Just have the intention. In time, that will come. Relax the glutes, but try and stay low in this position without moving the hips. Now we're going to drive the left knee down into the floor. So my knee here is being pushed down into the floor. I'm strongly working through the lengthened side of the joint on the left-hand side to really engage those muscles and drag that knee into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax, take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage those glutes to try and sink your hips closer to the floor. Use your hands to pull your chest forward, increasing the stretch through the left hip flexors. And then focus on your breathing. Try and breathe down into your belly and relax. And relax and release there. Gently bring the hips back. Bring that front foot back around. And just slowly moving around. Do whatever it takes to feel good for a moment. Just let any of the work that's just happened settle into your body. Just explore how that feels. And now we'll do the other side. So again, on all fours, bring your left foot slowly and with control. Place it to the outside of your hands. Walk the right knee and toe backwards, letting the hips sink down towards the floor. Untuck the right toes. Aiming on keeping this left knee close to above the left heel. If you're just getting a strong stretch through that left hamstring and it's not happening in your right hip flexors, just move your left foot back a little Taking the stretch out of the hamstring, putting the focus onto the right hip flexors. Let the hips sink down towards the floor. Gently pull your right hip forward. And then use your hands and your front foot to pull your chest forward in this position, increasing the stretch through the right hip flexors. From here, engage the glutes on your right hand side, so the muscles of the buttocks. Use those to help drive your hips closer to the floor and further forward, increasing the stretch through the right hip flexors. Strongly working through the muscles of the right glutes to help sink deeper into this stretch. Try and keep your hips nice and low as you release those glutes. And we'll go into driving our right knee down into the floor. Strongly push the right knee into the floor as though you're scooping it forward, engaging the muscles on the lengthened side of the joint. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage your glutes again on the right hand side. Drive the hips a little closer to the floor. As you engage the glutes on the right hand side, increasing the stretch through the right hip flexors. Again, you may not be able to activate those glutes in this position if this is new for you. Just have the intention. In time, it will come. And relax there. Gently bring the hips back. A gentle move around, a little wriggle, again, whatever it feels right for your body to do as you just let that work sink in. And we will move on to stretching our hamstrings. So to stretch out the hamstrings, I'm just going to use the wall. I'm coming on over. My left knee is going to stay down, hip is above that knee, while my right heel is on the floor but out close to the wall. Ball of the right foot goes up against the wall in this position. It'll take a few goes to work out how far away from the wall you should be to begin this stretch. So just come in and out as you need while you're learning this movement. I'm going to start with a big bend in my right leg. Lean the chest down and rest the chest down on the torso there. Really important we keep that torso, that contact between chest and torso for this move. My torso stays down on the thigh. You can squeeze and hold on, or both hands down on the floor, whatever is more comfortable for you. But just make sure you don't break the contact. Pull the left hip slightly forward to square the hips up. Untuck your tail. Think about pointing the backside up towards the ceiling. Then push the right foot into the wall to straighten out the right leg, stretching through the right hamstring. Now, you may not be able to straighten that right leg, and that's fine, so long as you're getting a stretch sensation through the right hamstring, then that's perfect. Again, keep that contact between torso and thigh. Focus on breathing down into the belly and relaxing into this position. And then again, we'll just go through those movements. Again, pull the left hip slightly forward, untuck the tail, and then push your ball of the right foot into the wall, attempting to straighten that right leg out just a little further. Focus on your breath. Relax into this position. And now we'll get active through the long side of the joint. To do that, imagine that you're bending at the right knee and you're driving the right heel into the floor as though you're trying to scoop it to touch your backside. So strongly push that right heel down into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull the left hip forward, untuck your tail, see if you can straighten that right leg just a little more. And breathe. Focus on breathing down into your belly and relax. Slowly come out of here. Again, any little movements that feel good. Just start to explore any changes that are taking place. Give your body time to let those changes happen. And then we'll come on up to the other side. So this time our right knee stays down on the floor. Left heel on the floor near the wall. Ball of the left foot is up against the wall. A big bend in the left knee as you rest your torso down on the thigh. We want to keep that contact between torso and thigh. So if it works for you, you can hug into that to really hold yourself nice and close there. Otherwise, hands on the floor, keeping the contact. Pull your right hip slightly forward. Untuck your tail. Then start to straighten out your right leg. Stretching through, your left leg. Stretching through the left hamstring. Keep contact between torso and thigh. And then breathe. So again, we'll just run through those movements. Pull your right hip slightly forward. Untuck the tail, push the ball of the left leg into the wall, attempting to straighten out just a little more through the left leg, stretching through the left hamstring. Again, you may not be straight, you may be nowhere near straight, so long as you are getting a stretch through your left hamstring, then that's great. From here, we'll activate the long side of the joint. Imagine you're bending at your left knee, driving the left heel into the floor as though it's trying to scoop to your backside. Strongly drive that left heel down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull the right hip forward, untuck the tail, push the ball of the left foot into the wall. Trying to straighten out just that little bit more. And breathe. And slowly come back out of there. Again, any little movements that you need to do, just let that happen. And we will move on to stretching out our piriformis. So for our piriformis stretch, we're just going to lay it on the back. Laying down on the back, the legs are out flat, and then just bending at the knees so feet are flat down on the floor. I'm going to take my right foot and place it on top of the left knee, letting this right knee turn out as far as I can. So even actively trying to hold that right knee out in position. Could be that you're in fairly tight That right knee doesn't want to move out to begin with. That's okay, it will loosen up in time. We just want to allow that right knee to hang out. Hands can reach down and take a hold of the upper leg, or if you have the range, you can reach and take a hold of the lower leg in this position. If you are unable to reach behind your upper leg, just set yourself up so that you have a belt or something that you can hang on to, and then use the assistance of this strap or belt to help pull back into this stretch. So whatever works right for you, taking a hold. Untuck your tail in this position. Think about flattening the lower back against the floor. Here, untucking the tail, then gently pulling the left knee towards the chest. I'm not pulling it across the body. It's coming straight back. My center line is still running straight down in between the legs. So pull that left knee back towards the chest. Keep the tail untucked to stretch out through the hip on the right hand side. So it's this whole lateral hip area. Keep the tail untucked, pull the left knee in towards the chest, creating a stretch through the right hip or piriformis area. And then breathe. Focus on breathing down into the belly and relax. We can get active here through the long side of the joint by trying to push your right foot through the knee that it's up against. So bracing this position, strongly push this right foot through the knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, take a breath. As you breathe out, keeping the tail untucked, see if you can just move the left knee closer towards your chest, increasing the stretch through the right piriformis hip area. And breathe. Focus on relaxing into your breath, maintaining this position. So let's do a second contraction there, the same as we did before. Holding your left leg in position. Strongly push the right foot into the left knee, using the muscles that you're stretching. So we're using the muscles on that right hip area to push that right foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, tail stays untucked, back flat against the floor, and work on bringing your left knee closer to your chest. Then breathe and relax. Relax into this position. And slowly come on out of there. Help that leg come back down. Gentle movements around. Really important to take this time after each stretch just to let the body catch up with what we've been doing. We'll set it up for the other side. This time your left foot is placed out on the right knee. Again, you can use your strap around the leg. Hold on to your upper leg, or if you can, reach all the way and hold on to your lower leg. Untuck your tail, keeping the legs either side of your center line so don't pull across the body. Keep the tail untucked and pull the right knee towards the chest. Stretching through the left piriformis, left hip area. Relax down into the belly. Just focus on your breathing. Again, just try and untuck your tail just that little bit more and feel how that actually increases the stretch as we move the spine away from the leg, increasing the stretch from that side. Pull your right knee a little bit closer to your chest as we start to move the other end of the muscle. Keeping the tail untucked. Just breathe into this position. From here we'll get active by contracting the lengthened side of the joint. So using the muscles where you feel that stretch, strongly push that left foot into the right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, take a breath. As you breathe out, untuck the tail. Gently pull the right knee closer to the chest, increasing the stretch. Focus on breathing down into the belly. From here, we'll do another one of the contractions, same as before. Strongly push your left foot into your right knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, take a breath in. As you breathe out, untuck the tail. Gently pull your right knee closer to your chest, increasing the stretch in that left piriformis area. Focus on softening down into the belly, relaxing with your breath. Gently come on out of there. Little wriggle around in place. We'll stay down on our back so that we can now stretch out a little gentle spinal twist. Okay, for our spinal twist, we'll just come on over to your back. Just relaxing, laying on your back. Really let your body sink down into the floor here. And here, gently pull your right knee up towards the chest. Now if you find your ribs get in the way, just take the knee out to the side, pull it past, and then around and back onto the chest. We'll just relax and have a few breaths in this position. Release that knee so it's pointing directly up towards the ceiling. Take your right hand and place it out to the side so the palm is facing up. Left hand reaches across to the outside of the right knee. Keeping the right shoulder on the floor, slowly bring your right knee down towards the floor on the left side of your body. When you get about halfway into your stretch, just pause there, shuffle your hips back slightly just to straighten up the spine, and then continue to sink down into this stretch. Keeping the right shoulder on the floor, you can angle your head to look out towards the right hand, and let the right knee just sink down towards the floor on the left hand side. Now as we start to stretch out through the diaphragm and along the ribs, we can really start to make breathing feel a little bit difficult. As you loosen up, it becomes a lot easier to breathe in your spinal twist. To begin with, just focus on relaxing as much as you can, trying to breathe deeply into the belly as best as you can. With each breath out, think about sinking deeper into this stretch. So we'll get active a few different ways in this position. The first is to brace yourself with your left hand. So the left hand won't allow you to move. Engage the muscles of your torso to strongly try and pull your right knee back to where it started from for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage the muscles of your torso to now try and pull yourself deeper into this stretch. So this is happening through the effort of your torso. And then you can start to use your left hand just to help that little more at the end. And then relax into this position and breathe. And slowly come back out of there. Give that a gentle wriggle around. So let your body adjust to anything that may have just happened. And then legs are out in front or out flat again. This time our left knee comes up onto the chest. Again, if you need to, just take it around the ribs and then pull it back across onto the chest. Have a few breaths in this position. Release that knee so it's pointing directly up towards the ceiling. Left hand comes out, facing palm up. Right hand reaches across to the outside of the left leg. Keeping the left shoulder down, gently start to take the right knee across the body towards the floor. When you're about halfway into your stretch, just pause there. Shuffle your hips back slightly to straighten the spine, and then continue to sink into your stretch, keeping the left shoulder on the floor, angling the head towards the left hand. Just allow the left knee to sink down towards the floor on the right hand side. Again, breathing can be difficult in a spinal twist. That will ease up over time. Just work on relaxing as best as you can, concentrating on your breathing. And with each out breath, just trying to sink a little bit deeper into this stretch. So here we'll get active first by bracing your knee with your right hand. Hold that knee in position as you strongly push it back to where it started from for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage the muscles of your torso to try and actively pull yourself deeper into this stretch. It's the torso that's pulling you deeper into the stretch, and then you can start to help out with that right hand. And then relax and breathe into this position. slowly let yourself come back out of there. Give that a gentle little wriggle around. And from here we're just going to come into just a simple forward fold. Sitting with the knees bent, legs are out in front, I hold on to my wrist with one hand just behind the knees, tuck the tail in, let the head hang down, and then just gently walk your spine backwards. I'm starting to feel like I'm pushing the space in between my shoulder blades further behind me. Allow the feet to creep in to wherever they need to be to provide stability and balance here. Then just relax and breathe in this position. Slowly bring yourself back up out of there. And we'll move over into a stretch for the chest, front of shoulder, even down through the upper arm, depending on where you're tightest. I'm going to start by laying down on my belly. Left hand reaches out at 45 degrees. So I've got straight out to the side and then 45 degrees. I glue that hand in position on the floor and then gently wriggle across to my right so that I'm already opening up through the left shoulder. Left side of the head stays down on the floor, left shoulder stays down on the floor, right hand is in a push-up position, and then just gently start to push with that right hand, lifting the right shoulder high, keeping the left shoulder low to stretch through the chest on the left, through that front of the left shoulder, and even down into the arm, depending on where you're tightest. If this is feeling comfortable, you can start to reach with your right foot to try and reach the floor behind you. Still pushing with the right hand, stretching through the left side of the chest, shoulder and arm. And breathe. By driving the left hand down into the floor as strong as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, push a little harder through that right hand. Reach a little further with your right toe. Just trying to stretch a little more through the left chest, shoulder area. And then relax and breathe. So now we'll get active through the short side of the joint as well. And to do that, what we're going to do is attempt to lift a straight left arm off the floor from this position. Now you probably won't be able to do that. You probably won't even be able to move. Just have the intention. Strongly try and lift that left arm up. Engage the muscles through the back of the left shoulder and the upper back on the left hand side to try and lift that arm off the floor. Start to work those muscles through the shortened side of the joint. And relax, take a breath, and breathe. Slowly roll out of there. Gently bring that arm back down. And we'll set it up for the other side. Right arm comes out at 45 degrees. Stick that hand down in position. Shuffle your body away to the left slightly, already opening up through the right shoulder. Right shoulder, right side of the head, down on the floor. Left hand in a push-up position. Push with that left hand. Right shoulder stays down, left shoulder comes high. Then you can start to reach with your left foot as well. Stretching through the right chest, right shoulder and right arm, depending on where you're tightest. From here, we'll get active through the long side of the joint by pushing the right hand down into the floor. Strong as you can, push that right hand down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, take a breath in. As you breathe out, push through the left hand. Reach a little further with that left toe. Increasing the stretch through the right chest, shoulder area. And then focus on your breathing. Relax into this position. Now to engage the muscles on the short side of the joint, strongly try and lift the straight right arm off the floor. You probably won't be able to move it, that's fine. Just have the intention. Engage those muscles through the shortened side of the joint, the back of the shoulder. Try and lift this arm up as strong as you can, and then relax. Slowly come out of there. Gently bring that arm back down. Again, just little movements to begin with. Let that settle in. Then come on up onto all fours. From here, we're just going to stretch out down through the lats, the side of the ribs. Might even get a little bit into the chest, depending on where you're tightest. The key point, or one of the key points, is to keep your hips above your knees. Try not to let your hips sink back down towards your heels. So from all fours, I'm going to bring my left hand across to where my right is, reach it out in front, and then use the right hand to hold the left in position. I don't want to put a big twist or a bend through the spine, so try and have your spine still going directly forwards, but you can angle the head so that it fits between the arms. Hips stay up nice and high as you let the chest sink down towards the floor. Stretching along the side of the ribs on the left hand side. Could be up through the armpit. Could be even a little through the chest. Hips stay high, chest sinks down towards the floor. Once you feel a good stretch from here, just shift your shoulders directly to the left, increasing that stretch. And finally, shift your left hip a little further back. And then breathe. From here, we'll get active by pushing the left hand down into the floor as though you're scooping it towards your feet for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, let the chest sink a little deeper. Shift the shoulders slightly to the left. Move that left hip back a little further. And breathe. Drop the right hand back down and use that arm to help come back out of here. Little gentle movements through there. And we will set it up for the other side. So, from all fours, make sure you keep the hips up nice and high for this stretch. Bring the right hand across to where the left is, then reach out in front. Use the left hand to hold the right hand down. Spine is still moving directly forward, but you can angle the head off to fit between the arms. Let the chest sink down towards the floor, keeping the hips nice and high. When you feel a nice stretch, then shift your shoulders slightly to the right and move your right hip just a little further behind you. And then relax and breathe. From here, we'll get active by dragging that right hand down into the floor as though you're trying to touch your toes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, let the chest sink a little deeper. Shift your shoulders slightly to the right. Angle your right hip just a little further behind. And focus on your breathing and relax into this position. Drop the left hand back down. Use that arm to help you come out of here. Gentle movements in this position. So thanks a lot for joining in. Hopefully you found this beneficial. Hopefully you got something out of the last 45 minutes and you feel like it's a good thing for your body to do. If so, then please go to integralmovement.xyz